Why wasn't it a better move to stay neutral and command the attention of both sides as long as you could for the duration of this campaign?
Well, it became clear to me, Chris, that I was not going to be allowed on the debating stage, which was really my only path to victory. I was already being boycotted by all of the mainstream media, by the liberal media. When Ross Perot ran, in 10 months that he was running for president, he had 34 appearance interviews on mainstream media. In 17 months, I had only 2 live interviews on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and MSNBC. So I couldn't reach that audience. I had no way to grow. And our polling was showing that if I stayed in the race, Vice President Harris would win. And I did not want that outcome. I don't think that Vice President Harris is a worthy president of this country. I think we need to have a president who can give an interview, who can articulate a vision, who can put together an English sentence, who can articulate her and defend her policies and her record, and who can engage in a debate and regular debates, unscripted appearances. Vice President Harris's speech at the convention made it very clear that she will continue the warfare state, that she's bragging about how she sees warfare as a tool, as the frontline tool of American foreign policy. This is a catastrophe for our country.
What do you care if they take your name off the ballots of these states? I thought it was a little bit of an arbitrary and capricious thing when I was first looking at it, but I feel for the Natural Law Party all of a sudden, Bobby. You know that they're not going to get on the ballot otherwise. You made a contract with them to be on. Leave your name. That was the deal.
Well, the irony is, Chris, we have been trying to get on the ballot in every state, and we've succeeded now in doing that. And now we're taking ourselves off in the states where we would harm President Trump. The Democratic Party, which was suing us to keep us off the ballot in those states, is now suing us to force us to be on the ballot. If we're talking about principles here, I think that I ought to be able to be on the ballots where I want to be on, and not be on the ballots where I don't want to be on. But there's a law,
and you made a deal for those natural law people. If you're not on it, they don't have any ballot presence.
Yeah, I understand that, and we're talking with the Natural Law Party and trying to make sure that there's a resolution that they're also happy with. At this point, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to get off of the ballot in Michigan, which is where the Natural Law Party is, so that probably will not be an issue.
You can't get your name off the ballot in some of those states. And so I wonder if that's the reality, even though you're trying. At the end of the day, are you going to end up helping Kamala Harris?
Well, we're hoping that is not the result. I mean, the irony is that the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, was suing me across almost all of these states to try to keep me off the ballot, and they're now suing me to keep me on the ballot in those states. And there's been this very, very peculiar and unique and paradoxical inversion. But if we do appear on the ballot, I think there are some states that we want to get off, and we're not going to be able to get off. But we're going to send a very strong message out that people who are my supporters, we want them to vote for President Trump. That's the only way to get me into Washington.
Yeah, will you go there yourself and tell? Yeah, will you go to those states and say, you know what? I know my name's on the ballot, but I support Donald Trump. Don't vote for him. Don't vote for me. Would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I already intend to do that. We're planning a Make America Healthy Again tour, where we're going to visit almost all of those states. So I will be doing rallies in each of those states over the next 61 days. We want to, if we're going to accomplish the mission that I set out to accomplish when I got into this campaign, to end the censorship, to end the surveillance, to get out of the Ukraine war and unravel the war machine, to end the chronic disease epidemic. The only way to do that is to get President Trump in the White House and me into Washington. So we're going to pull out all the stops to make sure that happens.